Hello, great Monday morning. It is a beautiful day. Well, sort of. But I woke up and I'm healthy and I live in a great country and I have incredible people around me. So it is a great day. First things first, please like, share, subscribe, comment. All of those things really help get the message out there. It really means a lot to me. I have a lot of people recently that I've been running into are like, oh, I watch your videos all the time. I'm like, thank you. Please like them. It really helps me get the message out there. Next thing, Rumble on the River. We are just over 2 weeks out. I'm super excited. Get your tickets. If you don't, you're not going to be able to get them. We have very limited capacity and they are starting to go fast. I've had lots of people asking me, where do you get them? Where do you get them? The link in the description down below, the QR code on the poster. Message me, message a firefighter. They will get it to you. But you can only buy them online. They are not physical tickets. And we have a very, very limited supply of them because we have a small venue. That being said, super excited. We just got our first official sponsors. We have Bay King Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hamilton. Thank you very much for sponsoring. We have North Shore Financial and Associates, Inc. Thank you very much for North Shore. And Grand Fitness here in Dunnville. Thank you very much for all you've done to keep boxing alive in Dunnville. That's absolutely amazing. Mike and Tammy, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, hurry up and get your tickets. Link in the description below. It's going to sell out, and it's starting to sell out fast. Anyhow, that being said, today's message. This is an interesting one because I want to really concentrate on one of the things I'm really good at, and that is people. I love people. I love talking to people. I love hearing their stories. I love connecting with them most of all. And there's a couple of ways we can do that. One is by listening. And this is a skill that most people don't have anymore. We're so distracted by our devices and what's going on in our minds that the moment somebody else starts talking, we end up going into whatever thoughts that are preoccupying our minds. And that's no bueno because it doesn't make people feel important. Now, listening as a skill, that's a whole different thing. We'll talk about that because I've had some interesting stories learning that skill. But today I wanted to talk about and give you a little action that you can take in your daily interactions with people to help you get more out of them and help people feel more important. See, that's the most important thing is that, I'm going to use the word important way too many times. When you're interacting with people, they need to feel important. One of the ways that they can feel important is by remembering their name. Now, if you've known somebody for a long time, it's easy to remember their name. But if you're just meeting somebody, I hear all the time, oh, I'm so bad with names. No, you just don't care enough to learn how to do it. That's the problem. And people, if you don't remember their names, feel like you just don't care. It may not be a conscious thing. They may not be like, oh, that guy's a jerk because he didn't remember my name. But somewhere down deep inside, they're going, not that close with them if they can't remember my name. Now, when I was like 20 years old, I was a bartender. I learned this trick. I didn't learn how it worked until much later, but I did remember this trick. And I'll explain the trick really quickly, and then I'll explain why it works. So whenever somebody would come and sit on the bar that I was working at, I was working in Toronto at the Hard Rock Cafe when I was 20 years old. One of my managers taught me, when somebody says their name, shake their hand and say it back to them. It's like, okay, that's simple enough. But it seemed to imprint their name more lasting because I meet hundreds and hundreds of people a month, and they were always shocked that I would remember their name when they came back. But that's because I wanted them to feel important. Because they are. It's not a trick to make people feel important. It's a trick to remember it's a trick to remember their name, but it should be an honest endeavor to make them feel important because they are. So, the most important sounding word in the English language is a person's own name. I'll say that again. Sorry, it's not most important. The most beautiful sounding word in the English language is a person's own name. We're called that name from birth, so we instantly recognize it in a crowd. Like, have you ever been standing in a crowd, heard your name yelled, instantly turn around and somebody have no idea who it is? Well, that's because it's your name. It's no one else's. So wouldn't it matter if you're meeting somebody, especially in a business setting or a dating setting, which aren't mutually exclusive. They're very similar in a lot of ways. When you're trying to build that relationship, wouldn't it be important to use their name when you're speaking to them? Moreover, wouldn't it make them feel more important if you use their name the next time you meet them? So what I would have happen is I'd be working on the bar, somebody come in months later, and I'd remember their name. I'd remember what they drank. There's a whole bunch of things that made that feel important, or made them feel important because of that. They know you see millions, well, not millions, but definitely hundreds, if not thousands of people a year, but you actually remembered them. It always threw people off. Now, I was doing it at the time for tips. I didn't understand that I was trying to build relationships, and actually did build relationships. But the trick itself was to shake their hand and say their name back to them. Now, years later, knowing what I know about neurolinguistics programming, psychology, imprinting through our senses, I realized why this works so well, because it engages so many of your own senses that you have a way better chance. It doesn't mean it's going to be foolproof, but you have a way better chance of imprinting their name on your mind if you're engaging as many senses as possible. Holy cow, it's hard to talk this morning. So, when somebody says their name, first thing's happening is I'm hearing it. That's the first sense that happens. Second, I'm shaking their hand, so touch is happening. At the same time, I'm making eye contact, so I'm visually imprinting them. And then when I speak their name back, I am hearing it internally and externally as I'm visually imprinting their face in my mind. Sorry, I'm shaking hands off camera. This is why it works so well. I've engaged as many senses as possible in order to make this person's name stick in my mind. It's not by accident that I'm good with names. And it's so funny because I've heard people, oh, you're so good with names. I'm so bad with them. No, you just haven't learned how to do it. It ain't that hard. We just would rather say we're not good at something and never bother trying to do it or figuring out a way to do it and dismiss it as something I'm just not good at. No. You know what? Today, you have to be good at a lot of things. I know they entrepreneurs of the past or motivational speakers of the past have said, find out what you're really good at and pay everybody else to do everything. No, I'm sorry, but you got to get good at everything. And then once you start making money and everything work and all of that jazz, then you can start paying people to work for you and do those things. But you got to know a little bit of everything in order to make your business work these days. So this is a simple trick. No matter what you're doing, where you're going, who you're spending time with, use this trick. Shake someone's hand and repeat their name back to them while looking them in the eyes. That's the trick, in the eyes. It imprints in several different ways. You have a way better chance of remembering their name. And if you remember their name the next time you see them, you'll instantly endear yourself to them, especially if it's a very brief interaction. Wow, this guy remembers my name. And a cool thing, that's kind of a weird, but if you remember their name and they don't remember yours, you have them at a disadvantage. And now they feel that sense of reciprocity, like, oh gosh, this guy remembered my name. I was important to him. I better make him important to me. Anyhow, that's it for me today. Get your tickets for Rumble on the River. They are going fast. We're just over 2 weeks out. Lots of good things happening. I'm no longer overwhelmed. I'm in the chaos of it, but things are getting checked off, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Link in the description below. That's it for me today. Until tomorrow, know that I love you, and I'll see you soon.